Welcome! This is Records Roundup number 74, and as usual, if you've never tuned in before, thank you for doing so today. We look at all the vinyl that I've been buying over the past couple of weeks, since basically the last time I filmed the Records Roundup, and there's other videos as well on the channel that are to do with record collecting, but they're not part of the Records Roundup canon. Anyway, that introduction went on a little bit long. I've got plenty of singles to show you today. Is there more singles than albums? There could be, actually. Doesn't matter, but I'm going to get all the singles done first, and then we'll get onto the albums with the obligatory mail opening to close us out. Right then, first couple of singles to show you, and most of these 7-inch singles actually are by the same group. There's an exception or two later on. But the first two are from my good friend John at Vinyl on the Net. And this one is Daddy's Gone by Las Vegas, part one of a 2 7-inch set. So I think this is on red vinyl. Now the price, I'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. Yes, it is on red vinyl. Side A, Daddy's Gone, love that. That's one of my all-time favourite singles. And side 2, a little thing called Fear. Daddy's Gone, it was technically a reissue. This had come out on a smaller indie label the previous year. I think this was 2008 this edition came out, and the next one from their self-titled debut album, which I absolutely adore. Hope Las Vegas, because they are still going, even though they're not quite as prominent as they once were 15 years ago, but I'm hoping they'll release a new studio album. But that is disc 1 of a 2 7-inch set for Daddy's Gone. Unsurprisingly, I've also got disc 2 here. Now this one I think is just black vinyl. We'll have a quick look to double check, but I'm pretty certain. Yes, it is. Daddy's Gone again on side A, and side B is a cover of Nirvana's Come As You Are. So I'm intrigued to hear that. I've never heard that because it's not on a studio album or anything like that. The price for these from Vinyl on the Net was good because I thought I was only buying this version. The way it was listed by John on his website, it did mention that this was part 2 of a 2 single set, but I didn't realise that it was actually selling them both together as a bundle. So I paid £6 thinking I was just going to get this, and I was happy paying £6 just for that. And then the first one that I just showed you came as well, so bonus really, so £3 each really. They're not worth an awful lot. None of these Las Vegas singles here, yes, I'm going to show you some more, are worth an awful lot, but I am such a big fan of that group. I thought, as a lot of their singles are quite cheap, I'll collect them. You know, there's going to be some that I'm missing because they're a little bit more difficult to get hold of or more expensive. But I'm going to try for a complete 7-inch single collection at some point, as I have all the albums. But that is the 2 vinyl single set for the absolutely wonderful song Daddy's Gone. Moving away from Vinyl on the Net and onto Discogs now, he says, as he's trying to sort out his pile here, as it's not in quite the right order. But of course, I added to the Las Vegas collection with Geraldine, so another 2 single set here. Side A is Geraldine, and side B, The Prettiest Thing on Saltcoats Beach. Geraldine is another fantastic single. Las Vegas were really big news around 2008, 2009. They were getting a lot of hype in the music press of the time. NME, etc. And although they never quite hit the heights of their debut album again, they have released 4 really strong studio albums. I heartily recommend you go and check them out. This is out on blue vinyl. Lovely stuff. All I can really say about that, Geraldine, disc 1, and from, I think it was the same seller, I can't really remember, but I'm assuming so, Geraldine, disc 2. This one is black vinyl again. Side A, Geraldine. Side B, a cover of Everybody's Got to Learn Sometime. So another cover version that I've never heard from Las Vegas there. Very happy with those. They weren't very expensive whatsoever, which is always a bonus. So there we go, Geraldine, the 2 7-inch set. Sticking with Las Vegas, also from Discogs, is the second disc for another absolutely brilliant single they released, Flowers and Football Tops. Now then, the first disc, which is going to be on green vinyl, judging by the hype sticker certainly, that's proven a little more tricky to get. It is available, but it seems to be mostly international sellers, so the price gets bumped up with international postage and VAT and things like that. But regardless, I managed to pick this up from a UK seller, and it's a live single essentially, because side A, Flowers and Football Tops live, and B, Polmont on My Mind live. There we go, black vinyl. I will endeavour to pick up disc 1, the green 7-inch, from somewhere eventually, but it's not one that I can show you here today. In what is increasingly becoming a Las Vegas special here, it's not. We've got lots of other stuff to show you. That is the live disc 2, Flowers and Football Tops. Also on Discogs is a later single from Las Vegas. This was from their second album, Euphoric Heartbreak, and this is Euphoria Take My Hand. Once again, not expensive. Can't remember the exact price though. Euphoria Take My Hand is side A, and Georgia Walk With Me is side B. And I think this is standard black vinyl. Yes, it is. Another great album that this is on, and a fantastic single. Really happy to have picked that one up. You'll be pleased to know it's the last Las Vegas single to show you now, but I move on to 2 singles because I decided to order something else that I've been itching to get really for a long time, but we'll get on to that in a moment. But first, final Las Vegas single of the day. This one was a Record Store Day issue from, it'll say the date on screen, so I'm not going to stand here worrying about it, but this one is I'd Rather Be Dead Than Be With You, and it's from their 3rd studio album, Later When the TV Turns to Static. This one is a limited edition. Mine is number 0798. And from Vinyl Tap, a site I use regularly, this was just £1.99. Can't be bad at all, really. I think this is white vinyl. Very, very minimal looking centre label. Excellent stuff. So that is a lot of Las Vegas to get through. But as I said earlier, there is still gaps. There's some of the earlier singles that are rarer because they were out on smaller Scottish indie labels. Basically, there were early versions of Daddy's Gone, Flowers and Football Tops, etc. And there's the other Flowers and Football Tops disc from that set that I want to try and pick up at some point. For now, that's it for Las Vegas. Here, I'd rather be dead than be with you. So I did say I'd picked up one more single from Vinyl Tap, because I was definitely getting the Las Vegas 7-inch, and I thought, well, just buying that, $1.99, I'm going to be paying more than that in postage. I might as well add something else, preferably something cheap, to this order. I think this was actually a bit more expensive. Was this $2.99? Still not a lot of money, obviously. But in fact, what I'll do is, rather than me stand here and talk about it, I'll show you a clip from an old Sodcast live stream that I did with Jason and Ian some months ago, where we rank this particular 7-inch single. So have a look at this and see how I feel about it. Amazing Grace by the Pipes, Drums and Military Band of the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards. It came out in 1972, and it sold 962,000 copies. Right, Ian.
It's a fantastic song. It's a great song. It's the only song I can play on a piano. It's just it's a wonderful version of this tune. And it's just the bagpipes that do it for me as well.
I do like the song Amazing Grace. I'm not sure if this is one of the better versions, though. About bagpipes as well. We know, like, Jimmy likes playing his own bagpipes, so.
All right. CT says the world's greatest living comedian there, Jason Clow. Can I just shock you?
Go on in.
I love this. This totally gave me chills when I listened to it.
It's the heart and soul of it, isn't it?
It's so beautiful. It's so good, and I'm gutted that I can't have it in S tier, and I don't even know if I can have it in A tier because Ian's ranked it B, you've ranked it as C. I love it. I really do. And I didn't think I'd be saying that about a piping band in this, but when I heard it, I knew I'd like it because of the bagpipes, but I absolutely adored it when I heard it again. Yes, the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards, Amazing Grace. I don't even want to say it's a guilty pleasure because I don't actually feel that guilty. I love bagpipe music, and I think this is so good. You heard what I said on the Sodcast when we were ranking the best-selling singles of the 70s. This is just an outstanding, goosebumpy kind of song for me. Love it. Absolutely love it. This one has come in the RCA Company sleeve. I've got nothing else to say other than I've been wanting to get this single for months now, ever since I listened to it in order to do the tier ranking. So the Royal Scots Dragoons Guard and Amazing Grace. That's it for singles for the moment. We will go back to the format, or rather the 12-inch version of the format, shortly, but I'll show you a couple of albums first. These were also from Vinyl Tap, albeit a separate order. It's some holes filled in my Embrace collection. So this is their album Love is a Basic Need. This is not their most recent studio album. That was How to Be a Person Like Other People. I showed you the signed cassette of that in the last Records Roundup. This one was the one before. It's just on black vinyl. It wasn't much. I decided I'd get it from Vinyl Tap as they seem to be the cheapest for a brand new copy. Quick look at the back. I'm not going to get this open now. So Love is a Basic Need, but also from Vinyl Tap at a similar price. Might have been £1 difference between the two. I'm not sure which one was the most expensive. It's the orchestral version of Love is a Basic Need. So very intrigued to hear this. I'm certain I'm going to like it. I'm an Embrace fan, Embrace collector. The only studio album of theirs I'm missing now is Out of Nothing. And they're releasing a live version of it that I've pre-ordered. It's coming out in November, I think. But I need to get the actual studio version of that. And that came out 20 years ago, 2004. So I'm hoping the actual proper studio album will get a reissue around the same time as well. But I pre-ordered the new live version. Anyway, the orchestral Love is a Basic Need there. Nothing else to say really about it because I've not heard it yet, not heard anything on here. It's got its hype sticker there, black vinyl again. Nice to get 2 more Embrace albums.
I will never stop, I'll never drop. Oh, take these words and write them down. I will never let you in.
here's where I show you the one 12-inch single today. And also we do go back to Discogs for this. This video's a little bit all over the place in regards to online retailers. But this one, now then, I said, ooh, it must have been at least a couple of videos back, probably more, that I wasn't going to get any of this band stuff on 12-inch. I'd been collecting their albums, what few of them there are, and all their 7-inch singles. I'm still missing one that I can think of. But I did say I'm not going to bother with the 12 inches. However, when I saw this, and I ordered this, I think it was with something else, something New Order related, that I would have shown you in the last New Order related update video. I thought, yeah, it's a good price and I'm going to get it because I'm a fan, I'm a collector. So I've kind of broken my own rules here, but it's the Farms All Together Now 2004 dance mixers on 12-inch. Just 2 tracks on here. It's the official BCD Club mixers. The Resonance Q radio mix is side A and the BCD Club mix is side B. Does credit the SFX Boys Choir of Liverpool, but I don't know how prominent they'll be on these remixes, to be honest. Little look at the vinyl there. Of course, this came out in 2004 to coincide with the European Championships in football or soccer, and this was the official theme. Not literally this, because this doesn't have the proper 2004 version on it, but remixes. Just thought I'd get this as it wasn't much money. Doesn't mean that I'm going to suddenly want all the other Farm 12-inch singles, because I don't. The ones I've got on 7-inch are generally fine. I think there's one, a really early one, probably their debut single, that only came out on 12-inch, so I probably will pick that up at some point. And then, as I say, there's another 7-inch from maybe a couple of years later that I need as well. And then really my Farm collection, apart from the final album, is more or less done and dusted. So All Together Now, the remixes. Also from Discogs, and I think also I've got this bundled in with something else. It's either something that I've shown on the previous New Order update, or I'll be showing you on the next one. One or the other. I'll lose track, I buy so many records. But this one is the one album I really needed to complete the Monty Python collection. Monty Python Live at City Centre, and the date on it is April 1976. Get this out of the protector for a moment to minimise glare. So this never got a proper UK release. This is a US pressing. I think the pressings that were available at the time were generally US or Canadian. Bit of a look at the centre label there on the Arista label. And the reason this didn't get a UK release was because it was very similar, maybe getting on for near identical to a previous Monty Python album, possibly Drury Lane, I would have thought. That's another live album. But City Centre, which is in New York, by the way. I wanted this just for completeness sake, and it wasn't a lot of money. Pretty good condition for its age. And the Python collection is more or less complete. There is still one more compilation that I'm thinking about getting, but it's just kind of stuff I've already got on at least 1 or 2 albums now, so I'll pick it up at some point because it is quite a nice reissued edition, the one I've got my eye on. And I probably should buy it before it becomes deleted or just gets too expensive. But, you know, that's for another day. But in the meantime, live at City Centre from the lads in Python.
like a bunch of flowers. Pretty begonias, irises, freesias, and climanthousums. Then arrange them nicely in a vase. Oh, get in!
So you've seen the title of the video, so you know this band's coming. You've been waiting for them. You've sat through Las Vegas, The Farm, Embrace, Python. Yes, I'm going to show you some Beatles now. It's not going to take long because I'm not going to get these unsealed, but I am absolutely made up that I've finally got these two albums. So in what would have been a video I made a couple of months ago now, I think, August rings a bell, I got an original pressing of Anthology 3 by the Beatles from Flashback Records. Needless to say, I really wanted Anthology 1 and 2. I didn't really mind whether I'd get the originals or some sort of reissue. And the reissues that I ended up going for here are the D'Agostini ones, because these are relatively good prices for 3 LP sets, and apparently, according to videos I've watched from channels like Parlogram, the D'Agostini pressings, which were from around 2017, when this Partwork Beatles series magazine along with an album was coming out, are really good quality. So I thought, yeah, rather than paying extra for originals, yeah, I've got an original Anthology 3, but you know, it doesn't matter that these two are reissues at all. Most of the time I prefer reissues anyway. Here's from eBay, by the way, Anthology 1. So this is the D'Agostini Partwork edition. It will say about it in that very small bit of bump there. I'm not going to get this open, it's just black vinyl. Anthology 1 needs no introduction to anybody with a remote interest in the Beatles. It has Free as a Bird on it, the comeback single, if you will, and a lot of their early outtakes, demos and things like that. For completeness sake, and I've had this on CD for many years, but wanted this on vinyl once I've got Anthology 3 on vinyl. That is Anthology 1, and you'll be unsurprised to know I also got Anthology 2. Once again, the D'Agostini Italian magazine pressing. My favourite Anthology album, this is the one that I played the most back in the day. It's got Real Love on it, the other single that got top 10 in the UK, and of course covers rarities, outtakes, etc. from the Beatles kind of mid-period, 64 to 67, maybe leaning in 68 really here. But this is the best of the three for me. The price, I think I looked out actually on eBay, because there was a seller, and I think it's some sort of record shop up in the northeast of England. They had them both listed together as a bundle, about £56, but eBay, it was some sort of anniversary for them or something. They're offering 10% off everything. Got basically about £5 something off both anthologies. So got these on a little bit of a discount, both at the same time from the same seller, so you know, nice and easy to complete the anthology collection really. That is Anthology 2, and there won't be a Beatles clip, because once bitten twice shy when it comes to trying to play Beatles here on YouTube. We move from the Beatles to a group who have been in the news a little bit recently, and maybe some people considered the Beatles of the 90s. They weren't really, it was more complicated than that. I mean, obviously the Beatles were a big influence, but then again so were acts like Slade, the Sex Pistols, T-Rex, etc. Of course, I'm talking about Oasis. This is a pickup from eBay again. I'm doubling up now because I've got this one on mini disc. This is the Zoetrope picture disc of the Master Plan. This was a Blood Records exclusive that came out originally exclusive to their site last year for the Master Plan 25th anniversary. It is hand numbered, a little bit smudged, but that doesn't matter on this sort of belly band sort of thing. Mine is 14,899 out of 15,000, I think. It's a double album as well. I'm not going to get it open just to keep this video moving along, but you can see 2 of the 4 sides pretty easily anyway. So yeah, I decided I would double up on Oasis, but only for these really sort of nice special editions, and that leads us nicely into the mail opening to do in a moment as well. Blood Records, they just do these unique and limited edition pressings. I mean, they're very anti-resale and aftermarket, so for me to get this was a little bit naughty really, but you know, they can't stop people from selling them. They can try, I suppose, but I don't know how successful they are. I was pleased to pick this up because compared to some of the other ones that were listed on eBay and Discogs as well, I got this for probably not much more than what I would have paid had I plumped for it at Blood Records anyway last year. This ended up being a bit over 40 and then a few quid in postage, whereas originally I think it would have cost 40 quid from Blood Records. So whoever sold me this didn't really make much of a profit on it at all. They probably wanted to listen to it once and then sell it. Great album master plan. It's of course a B-side compilation. Have it on mini disc. It's one I will be reviewing for Mini Disc Monday, probably in 2025. That'll come along. Not really going to speak too much more about that one, but the master plan on Zoetrope 2-disc picture disc. And finally, mail opening. This came out last week. Some people got their copy of this from Blood Records, by the way, so it's one of their special pressings, and I've ordered direct this time, and anything else that they put out I will try and do the same from now on, rather than just kind of ignore it and then regret it a year later and buy it on the aftermarket, which they don't approve of. I'll get this open. So it came out a week ago. It's an anniversary album. We all know what celebrated its 30th anniversary. We all know who are back together. And I'm saying that, and this video's not going to go out for a few weeks after I filmed it. Anything could have happened by the time it comes out. Oh no, Oasis have broken up before they got back together. Or, oh wow, can you believe Liam and or Noel said that about the other one? Just delete as applicable. You know it's Oasis. You know what the album's going to be. But when Blood Records announced this edition, I thought, yeah, I've got to get it. Well, it feels like they've separated it out because it's not actually sealed. So I don't want to start chucking this mailer away until I know it's fully empty. But this is such a cool edition. I mean, much more interesting than Zoetrope, to be honest. I do like Zoetropes. I know a lot of people are bored with them now, but I've not got an awful lot of them. So to get the master plan, and I picked up the George Harrison ones a few months ago as well for Record Store Day. But I think they've done something really cool here with this 30th anniversary edition of Definitely Maybe, because, and I don't know how well it's going to come out, but it's oh, what's the term? I've forgotten the term there. Oh, there we go. Can you see? Now you see him, now you don't. This might not be coming across brilliantly on camera, but I think you can kind of get a basic gist of the effect here. You see they're all kind of disappearing. How's that? Ooh, the noise goes through me a little bit. But oh, this is a really nice press. I didn't realise it'd be gatefold as well. Makes sense that it is. Bit of bump for the back. This one is my number, 8,875 out of 15,000. I think these were still available at the time of me recording this. I'm sure they won't be by the time this video comes out. So if you did want this particular edition, not that I ought to recommend it, but you will probably need to go on the aftermarket unless they've decided to do another run. But I don't think they would, because then it's not going to be out of 15,000, is it? If they just press, say, another 5,000, 10,000 more. Right then, I want to show you one of these discs. Nice inners, but look at this disc, like a tricolour kind of thing. We've got blue, got yellow, green, white. Really, really pretty, that. Fantastic. I mean, Blood Records, they're doing good work really with these limited pressings. Here's the other disc. I will quickly show it you. It's going to look the same or similar. Show you the inner there as well. But I'm really delighted I finally plumped for this. Brilliant. Love it. Of course, there again, Definitely Maybe. I do have this on mini disc, but this is the first time I've owned it on vinyl. And I think as a collector's piece, if nothing else, this is probably, out of all the 30th anniversary reissues that have come out, and there's a 4 LP black vinyl set that's got some demos and stuff with it. There's a Strawberries and Cream 2 LP set. There's a Up in the Sky blue and white vinyl set that I think was a Oasis web store exclusive. I think there's a cassette as well, a new CD set. So a lot of different editions, but when this was announced, I nearly jumped on it straight away, but at that point, I didn't know if I wanted to double up on Oasis, but yeah, I do, and I want to get the Blood Records ones. So fingers crossed, Oasis will, or Blood Records, I should say, on behalf of Oasis, will put out something equally as interesting, if not more so, next year for the 30th anniversary of Morning Glory, and of course, that'll be prior to the comeback gigs at Wembley, Manchester, Cardiff, Scotland, etc. that are happening next year as well. But there we go, 30th anniversary lenticular, that's lenticular sleeve edition. I knew the word had come to me eventually. Lenticular sleeve edition, 30th anniversary of the almighty debut album from Oasis, Definitely Maybe.
Said maybe I don't really wanna know how you got it gross, 'cause I just wanna fly. Lately, did you ever feel the pain in the morning rain as it sold you to the bone? And maybe I will never be all the things that I wanna be. Now it's not the time to cry, now's the time to find out why. I think you're the same as me, we see things I'll never see. You and I were gonna be forever.
And that's Records Roundup done for you today. Really enjoyed that, as that's a beautiful record to end on. That Definitely Maybe Blood Records exclusive with its lenticular sleeve and its very psychedelic looking discs. But I want to say thank you for watching this today. Special thanks go, as always, to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons. I'm going to go now, loads to listen to. No doubt I'll get all those singles done pretty quick, because the 7-inch singles, they don't take very long at all. And I'm just going to have some fun listening to stuff from Las Vegas, Oasis, Embrace, the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards, Don't Laugh, and of course the Beatles, not forgetting those lovely Anthology 1 and 2 reissues. So I'm going to go and do all that, and I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next Records Roundup video and record collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya!